Hello and welcome to the Tomcast. I'm Tom, President and Dictator for Life of 515comics.com. It's been a while since I've done a Tomcast and a lot of stuff has happened. I was looking over the last Tomcast that I made, which was a little over a year ago now. And yeah, just made me want to do some. I want to do some Tomcasts. So I'm going to make some. They're probably going to be pretty basic. I'm going to try and keep them short and just kind of focus on one topic at a time. Something that's been weighing on me a lot this year. So it's 2020 and there's a pandemic and it's causing a lot of trouble for a lot of folks. Earlier this year, my position at the bookstore where I worked was dissolved due to restructuring because of COVID-19. And I left. I wasn't fired, which is very nice of them. But the thing that I wanted to do, the career I'd kind of carved out for myself was gone with no plan to bring it back. So I decided to leave. That seemed like the best option. It was a very hard decision, and it still hurts that I don't work there anymore. I worked there for a very long time, and I think a lot about my feelings, and I just kind of wanted to document how I'm doing and how I'm looking at it, because it really shook me that I use the Tomcast to plan a lot and to kind of state things so that I'm more likely to follow through with them, and just sort of like use it as a check-in. And I didn't really talk about my job, my what I do for a living, how I pay the bills and stuff. I didn't really talk about that in the Tomcast all that much. And I don't really intend to. I don't think that's what it's for. But it really did define me in a lot of ways. I let it define me in a lot of ways. I was very comfortable with what I did. And I was very comfortable saying that that's what I did. For a long time, I tried to say that, if I met someone in a social event and they asked, hey, what do you do? I would try and lead more with, I make comics. I write and draw my own graphic novel, and I publish it online, and kind of go down that route instead. I want to be a storyteller. But inevitably, people are going to ask, what do you do for a job? And I was very comfortable with what I did. And in the past few years, I've had to reprioritize. I've had to kind of shift priorities. And so being a dad is a bigger deal, and that's a bigger part of my day-to-day life than being a storyteller. And so I've, over the past few years, sort of shifted back into the, I'm the district trainer for this chain of bookstores, and, that became more of my identity. And so now that I don't do that anymore, it's sort of an identifying feature that's no longer there, and I feel like it gave me a bit of a crisis of identity. One thing that sort of helped me through that is having this other thing that I do, being a storyteller. That hasn't changed. Even though it's not as high a priority as it once was, that is still something I can hang my hat on, so to speak. That doesn't matter where I work, what I'm doing for money, I can still be a storyteller. And I want to try and bring that back to the forefront a little bit, and I'm hopeful that the current job that I have will allow me to do that somewhat. But I'm still dead. I still got lots of responsibilities there. That hasn't gone away or really abated all that much. So, so it doesn't mean I'm going to be cranking out new books and new pages at an accelerated rate anytime soon, very likely. Um, but yeah, it's just been something I'm struggling with. I know we're all struggling, um, and I guess I just wanted to share a little bit of how I'm doing. There have been weeks that it feels like it's fine and I'm over it, and then there are weeks like this one where it really hurts and I really miss the people that I worked with and I really missed the opportunities that I had there, and I'm really sad that that part of my life is gone. My dad actually gave me a really great piece of advice because he's had a lot of different jobs. He's worked for a lot of different companies, and he's had a lot of jobs that he really really liked kind of run out on him. Where he was in a similar situation where company got bought out and they already have someone who does what he does, or they're not moving in the direction anymore, so they don't need him to do that job anymore. And he said, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, you have a job for as long as you have it, and if you like it for as long as you have it, and that's okay. It's okay for that to end, and it's okay for you to have enjoyed it as much as you could while you had it. So I'm trying to focus on that. I got to enjoy working at that bookstore for as long as I did, and it helped shape me into the person that I am today. And it is sad that I don't get to work there anymore, but that's okay because I still get to define who I am moving forward, and I already have a lot to lean on. Being a dad and being a storyteller, I think, are really great things as I figure out who and what I am in the workforce. That doesn't have to be the primary definition of who I am. But yeah, dealing with the pain of change is difficult, and it's going to be something that I'm going to be working through for a long time. It's going to take a long time to get used to the new set of things that define who I am. So anyway, it's not like a super awesome thing to come back to the Tomcast with, but it's something that I'm thinking about a lot, and I think talking about it will help me, work through it. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to the words that I have to say. Already talked a lot longer than I had wanted to, but we're just gonna roll with it. So hang in there, guys. I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.